Hello everyone and welcome back to Nate the Hoof Guy. Today's video we've got two cases for you. First up is going to be a brown Swiss cow that's got a left front abscess, and the second one is actually an injury that a cow suffered on her right rear foot. First up is our lovely brown Swiss. Can you spot the problem? How about now? If you look closely, you can see some small stones impacted into that crack. This crack is located in the white line of the foot. And the white line is the area between the outside wall of the hoof, or that white part, and the sole of the foot, which is the darker part on this brown Swiss cow here. That junction, where those two types of horn meet, is one of the weaker spots on the foot for a cow, and why a lot of the abscesses end up resulting in that area. The reason I'm not trimming that other claw at this point is because sometimes these white line issues don't actually need to be blocked. In those cases, I want to leave that toe a little bit higher, so I'm going to wait and see what happens once I get in here and see the severity of this white line issue before I mess with that other toe at all. This cow did not show a lot of lameness when she came into the chute, so at first I thought maybe this was just a minor issue, but it didn't take long as I get started on this to realize there's much more going on than met the eye. When a white line issue like this becomes infected, that's what we refer to as an abscess. When an abscess builds up pressure, it has to find a way to get out. It either has to come out through the sole of the foot, which you saw earlier, but that got filled with rocks and filth and stuff. At that point then, it looks for a path of least resistance. In this case, in the area that I'm cutting here, is actually called the heel bulb. And what it's done here is it's separated. That pressure is released out the top, and that's how the cow actually tries to heal herself, by getting that pressure out of there. Now what I have to do is remove all of that so we can get proper healing to replace that heel bulb and then ultimately new sole as well underneath it. As I start to pare away this loose hoof here, you're going to see the size and severity of this lesion and how amazingly this cow was able to hide it as she walked. You can see here how I just barely touched that lesion on the inside and made it bleed. That tissue under there is so sensitive that just even touching it with your finger or with a glove can actually make that bleed. You'll see after, in a minute here, as I get this cleaned up, how there's no cut or anything on that. It's just an abrasion, and it's just super tender. As I finish trimming up the rest of this loose horn, you can really get a good idea of the totality of this lesion. That area there of lesion is probably the size of a 50-cent piece, and that'll take probably a month, that particular area, to heal over completely. The area of the heel bulb in and around that will start forming new horn almost immediately. Just like if you watched those last videos, those puncher cows, that heel bulb and that corium there, that'll heal up really fast. That disrupted area, that middle part there, the bloodier area, that is going to take some time because that is damaged corium. Damaged corium just takes longer to heal, that's all there is to it. If you are a regular viewer of hoof trimming videos, you knew that this cow was going to need a block. The spray I'm using here is called chlorhexidine. It's an antiseptic spray, and one of the other advantages of it that I really like versus iodine is that I'm able to see, because it's clear, any loose hoof that I need to remove. In this case, around that lesion, there's still a little bit more as I clean this away that I'm going to need to remove to ensure proper healing. The clear liquid allows me to see that really well. Apply a wrap to this foot to allow for some protection over these first few days of healing. Because this is an organic farm, there are no antibiotics allowed to be used. So really, the antiseptic spray and this light wrap to keep it clean for the first few days are key. After that, it's all up to the cow to get the job done. This side view here gives you a good representation of what a block is meant to do. It's meant to elevate that injured claw to keep it off the ground. Next up today is our Jersey cross. Now on this channel you're used to seeing me trim on a foot, maybe with my grinder and knife to uncover a foot problem. In this case you're not going to see that. What we have here is an injury in that lateral claw on this right leg. The way I can discern this as an injury and not perhaps an early abscess or something like that, there's 3 different ways that I do that. Number 1 is the outward appearance. I can see that there's swelling, but there's no appearance of any cracking on the sole of the foot at all, which would indicate an abscess in the white line. The second thing I'm going to look for, and you're going to see me check this in a minute, is I'm going to feel that joint and I'm going to see if there's any heat in it. Heat will indicate an infection. And if I don't have any heat, I also feel for the texture of it, not the texture, but the consistency. Is it tight? In this case, this joint is super tight and it's got no heat to it, which tells me that there's probably some type of injury up inside that heel bulb in there, and likely some tendon, a pulled tendon, or perhaps the pedal bone issues up inside there, P3, P2 issues. There's not a lot you can do. All we can do here is block this foot and allow that other claw some time to rest, and hopefully it can resolve itself. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.